Hi everyone, I'm home now. A little quieter in my apartment, but obviously still noises, that you can hear that you cannot identify. Um, I realized recently that maybe there are some, um, you know, older people, people from my parents' generation watching my Instagram videos, and so I thought once in a while I'll put on a more appropriate look. Today this is Mr. Armani. This is my Emporio Armani. It's got some silver and pinkish shimmery lame, and I love the sleeve and how at the back it has a belt which is really thick, and so there's something very elegant about a thick bow at the back. So I love this dress very much. It's very much like a baby doll. You can unzip it to make it like a little bit um, a little bit looser each side. And again, I mentioned, there are a lot of older people watching these videos, so I thought sometimes I should dress a little bit more formally, not formally, but just a little bit more politely. I have these earrings, which I will do a close up of. These earrings, which I mentioned a few weeks ago. They're designed by an Indian lady who I've met, and she works as a jewelry designer. She's based out of Asia, but she told me that she was in contact with some Indian gem traders who helped her manufacture, ship, source, and also collaborate with her on the designs. And I only bought this for several $100s, but obviously it wouldn't be priced at several hundred. Like somehow I just got it by luck. I was just really lucky that I found it and picked it up in a Christmas market. Um, where was the Christmas fair? It was at the Regal Hotel. Um, I don't go to the Regal Hotel often. I just heard about that hotel because my godmother is very close to the people at the Regal Hotel. So sometimes I get their notifications, and they had a Christmas fair that that month. I was following them on social. So I got invited, and at the Christmas fair, almost everybody there was a lady from India or Hong Kong who was a jewelry designer, and a lot of them were like really nice, ladies, some of them older, some of the younger. Someone gave me a tiara pendant for like $50. I got this for like $200. Unbelievable. I mean, I think she ought to be selling this for like 200,000 bucks. Um, and for some reason, I just got all this stuff there for like $50. 50 bucks here, 50 bucks there. Unbelievable, really unbelievable. And then I have on this wonderful, wonderful Emporio Armani baby doll dress today. I mentioned several times on this video, I'll say it again. I noticed recently that there are some older people watching my Instagram, some older people following my YouTubes. Maybe some of them are from my parents' generation, so out of respect, I thought I would sometimes dress a little bit more, just a little bit more, um, well, appropriately. And then I have on my Rene Chauvilla bejeweled flats. These flats, I'm gonna show them. These are Rene Chauvilla from Milan, and I love it because I think this is kind of expensive. This one for shoes, for flats, a little bit expensive. It was originally 500 US dollars. I got it for half off, but it looks the price it should be, so I got it for a really good deal. So just to show once again my outfit for today, I actually went to get my hair cut. Ernest does a very reliable job, and I like Ernest. I like seeing him whenever I'm in Hong Kong because he's been reliable. He's done his good job. I go and I see him. My Cantonese is not very good, but I know I can expect a consistent quality from him. So I like to have him. I like to have them here in Hong Kong, and it's great. I enjoy talking to him. I know all about his family, his lifestyle. I couldn't wear these out today because it was a haircut, and when people cut your hair, sometimes some things might happen, and these are very, very nice earrings. So that's why I actually put these on. I put these on after I got home. But if it was like going out to see friends and stuff, I would be more than happy to put these on, and then with like the matching silver diamond one as well. I think after that jewelry fair, I really got inspired about certain types of designs. Um, I'm getting lots of well wishes from friends who were worried about me, and I had a really bad birthday, as I always do. Always had a bad birthday for the last 10 years, doing nothing much. And people are asking me, well, obviously you're happier in New York, and that's home for you. You enjoy life in the States, and you're an American, so that's where you should be. How are you going to move back? And I said, well, my parents were asking me to provide them with a plan, and, you know, I could just buy a ticket and go back by myself and stay at my friend's place and put my stuff in her basement for a couple months. But my parents, if my parents are involved in my move back, then they might help out. They might pay for the ticket, pay for the move. They might help me find a job. So that's why sometimes I talk to my parents about it, but they don't have anything in mind. They don't have anything in mind. I told my dad probably it makes sense for me to get a job in fashion after thinking over a long list of different things I could do. And my dad was like, yeah, you work in fashion, whatever. Like, who cares about your job? Yeah, so say you work in fashion, whatever. But what do you mean by that? Like, where are you gonna get a condo? Where are you gonna find an apartment? What's the address of the place you're gonna stay at? How are you gonna move all your stuff back? And how are you going to keep busy when you're back in New York? And I told my parents I happen to have dozens and dozens of very good friends in New York. And American people get me. I don't want to be super famous. My parents give me money, but I don't spend it like crazy. I care about good causes. I like well behaved stuff. So I like art, I like music, I like fashion, and I care about important causes. And a lot of my friends are very, very famous doctors, lawyers, artists. Um, so I think there's plenty for me to do. I've also asked my piano teacher for his opinion on how he thinks I should move back, but it's going to be a busy summer for him. because obviously he's head of two international piano contests. He's the president. He's also the head of the Bach Foundation, the Mozart Foundation. So if you don't know anything about classical music, you might have heard of Bach and Mozart. And right now, he's still the last person alive who knows who's most famous for these two classical composers. I mean, who knows anything else about classical music other than Bach and Mozart? And my teacher's the top in both. He actually has a job at Harvard. He happens to have a paying job at Harvard. That's, as I mentioned, over Christmas. I think of being like him one day. He's a part of Harvard. That's where his source of income is. He's well known and widely respected in Harvard, but he happens to be on the board of 7 or 8 other things, and they're all world class. I was applying for a 1-year fellowship to spend at the Met Museum last year. I thought that might be a nice way to ease into life in New York by just spending a year at the museum and helping them with some work. They have heard of me before because I've done a lot of important work for their most important art collections. But more importantly, my piano teacher is still alive. And by the way, in case the Met doesn't know, he's getting really old. I think he's nearing his 80s, and he's looking pretty frail in the recent Zoom conversations. So, if you want to take advantage of him and all that Harvard has of him, which is, most of what the Met collects. He's only around for a few more years, very sadly, which means time is of the essence, which is good for me because I feel really uncomfortable. I want to get out of Hong Kong. I want my life to resume to normal. I want to have a better breathing. I don't want to take so many pills that, because I feel bad. I feel in New York, I'm more alive. The air's better. The people are nicer. I fit in better in New York. And so I would like to get out of here as quickly as possible. So an event that can allow for my an exit event, with the timing as quickly as possible, would be good for people who want to see my teacher while he's still alive, and all that comes with him, all that comes with Robert Levin. I just think of him as like my mom, like my second mom, because that's what he is to me. And he's only had 6 or 7 puppies in his lifetime, because he's too world famous as a concert pianist as well. That's his 5th job, by the way. Doesn't really have time to teach. He does do a lot of charity work for Juilliard, but he doesn't have puppies of his own. In his lifetime, he's only had us puppies, the 6 or 7 of us from Harvard. And he loves us, and most of us, got jobs as doctors, surgeons, professors, and, for me, bankers, investors. And well, just like him. He's a professor at Harvard. It's nothing to do with his piano, which is nothing to do with all his foundations, nothing to do with his competitions, but all to do with his understanding of historical art from probably the 1500s to the present day. And once he's gone, that's a huge loss of an American asset, or rather around the world. So, I tend to stay close to people who want me back in New York as quickly as possible. because I feel uncomfortable now, and that's why I want to leave as soon as possible. And of course, I'm 42. I deserve to one day fall in love, maybe have a family. So, of course, I'm in a hurry and I feel bad. And so, other people who want me in New York and happily in New York with a full life and many different things to be a part of, tend to, so there's stuff to do, there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on. People travel to Europe in the summers. A lot of people travel to Europe for the summer. He certainly, my teacher certainly does. Um, and I don't, yeah, so that's where I am. That's where I am right now. I would like to get out of here as soon as possible. So there are some serious, serious things to think about. I mean, if a guy who, really loves me, will come and rescue me, and help with the move, that would be nice. But it seems like my parents are maybe the goalkeepers somehow, and if they don't feel it's right, then it won't happen. Um, and yeah, well, of course, I like to have as much freedom in New York, as much as possible. But I think I have a full life because I have a couple of best friends, and some of them work in fashion, some in media, some in beauty, some teaching, elementary school children, some as lawyers, doctors, bankers, investors, musicians, artists, professors. There's nothing. I don't have friends, and I don't. I like to do some good things, and of course I like to dress up, but I also like fancy events, and meet some fancy people, and maybe go to the Harvard Club once in a while, or join clubs where my friends from school would like to would would learn something, but then I'll also, of course, have the chance to wear, an evening gown or two once in a while. Yeah, that kind of thing. Um, but but then, they ask me, if I'm looking to have a job and what's the job, and so I'm very confused. And the more things can move quickly in the right direction, but in a way that makes me comfortable. Um, and to get out of here, the longer you stay, the more you're at risk of picking up COVID or some sort of chicken pox from you don't know what's out here in Asia. So I think the sooner I get out of here, the better. Um, and yeah, that's all I have to say today. It's a very appropriate video, and a very beautiful Emporio Armani dress. I'm just going to show it one more time and see the how it's at the back. It looks very, very charming at the back because this is very thick. It's like 3 inches wide. These bejeweled flats, and of course these very, very precious earrings. So just to say hi to everyone after my haircut today. So